back in 2013, there was a fire that devastated a family in Chatham, and a bunch of people got together to try to help them. And myself and some other friends were at a meeting of all these different groups of people that wanted to help. We helped the family individually. And my friend and I got together and said, we really need to have a place where, everything can kind of be coordinated, an organization or something to help people that are going through a crisis. So about a year later, the other co-founder, Carl, was approached by a family whose wife was diagnosed with cancer, and they needed help fundraising. So we quickly did the paperwork to become a 501c3. And so we've been in existence for 8 years now. We help probably 40 families a year, I would say, approximately, in different varying degrees of assistance. I like to say that there's always something we can do to help someone. We are only funded by small community grants. We are all volunteers. We don't have any staff paid. So we're very blessed with some of the small grant programs we've been able to get and the businesses that support us. But there's always something we can do, is what we say. And it may be helping somebody apply for SNAP or unemployment. We had a fire at a restaurant a few years ago, and the staff were eligible for unemployment, and they were clueless. They just hadn't had to do that before. People that are in a cancer diagnosis, they don't know maybe that there's a cancer fund that exists with the Healthcare Consortium. So we help facilitate with other organizations. We have a cancer fund specifically, which will give small grants to patients with a cancer diagnosis. We create comfort bags for patients in treatment down at New York Oncology that are delivered monthly by one of our board members. We have a veterans fund. We have a board member who, like I said, is dedicated just to helping the veterans, and if there's a small financial need we can help them with, we do that as well. We also have the grocery bag distribution program through the Berry Farm, where families weekly are getting fresh local produce, fruits and vegetables for their family, and the Lincoln's Keepers, of course. Lincoln is a little boy whose family we've been assisting for the last 3 years when he was diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy. And we've helped them with fundraisers and resources and different things, and they're still going through some hard times. One of our board members, Sue Diskin, is a seamstress, and she came up with the idea of Lincoln's Keepers. And so yes, it'll keep your Lincoln pennies, but it's also to kind of keep Lincoln in your heart. And right now the bags are being sold. They're small purses. They're being sold to benefit Lincoln and his family. And someday when Lincoln may not need them anymore because all is going well, it'll be a specific pediatric fund for us. For me personally, when I was a child in New York City, my parents were responsible for starting the Epilepsy Foundation in New York back in the 70s. And so when I was like 6 or 7 and 8, I remember going out and ringing a bell and putting a coin jar out and helping them in fundraising. So I've always had good models. So that's my story. My sister, who's also on our board, was also diagnosed with breast cancer 2 years prior to this. And she's a 10-year survivor. So the name actually came from my stepdaughter, who designed a t-shirt for her that said, "Our community cares for breast cancer." And so that's kind of where the name came from in itself. So I think just family and the environment I'm in, and I think everybody else on the board would probably say that they've all been raised by people that, have been giving spirits, and, and we all found each other.